Tonight, someone is going to make you laugh. You won't plan it. You won't choose it. Your body will do it before your mind even catches up. And for a split second, you'll believe laughter exists to make you happy. It doesn't. Laughter is older than happiness, older than language, older than your species, in fact. And the real reason you laugh has almost nothing to do with joy. Start with something strange. Tickle yourself right now. Go on, try it. Nothing happens, does it? No giggle, no squirm, no reaction at all. But if someone else did the exact same motion, in the exact same spot, you'd probably burst out laughing. Same touch, same nerves. Completely different result. Why? Because your brain isn't responding to touch. It's responding to another person. And that single fact unravels everything you thought you knew about why you laugh. Researchers have known for decades that self-tickling doesn't work. Neuroscientist Sarah Jane Blakemore studied this at University College London, and her scans showed something remarkable. When you tickle yourself, your cerebellum predicts the sensation in advance and cancels it out. Your brain filters out anything it already expects. But when another person touches you unexpectedly, that prediction breaks down. The surprise floods through, and laughter erupts. So laughter isn't really about being tickled. It's about being caught off guard by another living creature. It's a signal that only makes sense between two bodies. That should already feel odd. Something in you built specifically to respond to other people, not to yourself. Why would evolution wire something so social, so deep into your nervous system? Go back further. Long before humans existed, before language, before fire, your ancestors lived in small groups of primates, constantly negotiating who could be trusted and who couldn't. Every interaction carried risk. A misjudged move could mean a fight. A fight could mean injury, exile, even death. Primatologist Jaak Panksepp spent years studying laughter's ancestor in animals, and he found something you probably never expected. Rats laugh. Not the way you do, but chimpanzees, and even young rats, produce a rapid panting sound during rough and tumble play. Panksepp recorded it using ultrasonic microphones because the sound sits above human hearing. The rats weren't performing for scientists. They were signaling something to each other, mid-play, in real time. What were they signaling? Safety. That's the core of it. Play in the animal kingdom always flirts with real aggression. A play bite can slide into a real bite. A chase can slide into a real hunt. So animals developed signals to say, without words, this is still just play. Keep going. I'm not actually a threat. Human laughter descends directly from that signal. Before it meant funny, it meant safe. Picture two early humans wrestling near a fire. Bodies colliding, teeth bared, movements that would look like combat to an outsider. Without some kind of signal woven into the moment, that wrestling could tip into something dangerous. Laughter was the tipping point. It told both bodies simultaneously that the line hadn't been crossed. It synchronized two nervous systems in real time. That's the part most people never think about. Laughter isn't really a reaction. It's a message sent from one body to another, faster than language could ever manage. And here's where it gets stranger. You already know laughter is contagious. You've felt it. Someone starts laughing near you, and your body wants to join before your mind decides why. Robert Provine, a neuroscientist who spent his career studying laughter in the wild, actually left the lab to do it. He walked around cities and campuses recording thousands of real conversations, and he found something almost nobody expected. Most laughter has nothing to do with jokes. Provine found that in ordinary conversation, less than 20% of laughter followed anything resembling a joke. People laughed after mundane statements. I'll see you later. Laughter. Can I borrow this? Laughter. The content barely mattered. What mattered was the relationship between the speakers. Laughter, in other words, isn't a response to comedy. It's a response to connection. Think about the last time you laughed at something that wasn't even funny, just because someone you liked said it in a certain tone. That's not a flaw in your sense of humor. That's your evolutionary wiring doing exactly what it was built to do. Here's the twist buried underneath all of this. If laughter evolved to build trust and signal safety, then it was never really about the individual at all. It was about the group. Groups that could bond quickly, resolve tension without violence, and read each other's signals accurately had an advantage. They cooperated better. They fought less among themselves. They survived harsher seasons because nobody was wasting energy on internal conflict. A group that laughs together, in the oldest possible sense, is a group that has learned how to de-escalate. That single mechanism may have shaped human societies more than almost anything else. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar, famous for his work on social group sizes, proposed that laughter, along with grooming and gossip, functioned as a kind of social glue long before language existed. Grooming works one-on-one. It's slow. It doesn't scale. But laughter, Dunbar argued, can bond an entire group at once. One shared laugh, and dozens of people feel connected simultaneously. That's not something you feel in your ears. It's something you feel in your chest, in your shoulders, in the way your whole body seems to soften around people who make you laugh often. Now bring this back to something you already know but rarely notice. You don't laugh the same way with strangers as you do with close friends. Around people you trust, your laughter gets louder, looser, less controlled. Around people you don't know well, it gets shorter, more careful, almost measured. You're not choosing that. Your nervous system is doing the math for you. The same math your ancestors' nervous systems did around a fire tens of thousands of years ago. How safe is this person? How much can I let go? That's why forced laughter feels so uncomfortable to witness. You can sense, almost instantly, when it doesn't match the social signal it's supposed to send. Something in you knows the difference between a real message of trust and a performance of one. There's one more piece to this, and it might be the strangest of all. Laughter shows up in humans within the first few months of life, long before a baby understands language, long before it understands anything close to a joke. An infant laughs at a game of peekaboo, not because the content is clever, because the pattern of expectation, surprise, and safety repeats over and over, and the infant's nervous system responds exactly the way its ancestors did 100,000 years earlier. You were laughing before you understood a single word, before you knew your own name. That's how deep this goes. So the next time laughter catches you off guard in a conversation, notice what's actually happening underneath it. It's not really about the joke. It's not really about happiness, at least not in the way you assumed. It's an ancient signal, passed down through millions of years of primates who needed a way to say, without words, we're safe here, together. Somewhere in your chest, right now, sits a mechanism built long before your species had a name for itself, built for survival, disguised as joy. Tonight, someone is going to make you laugh. And now you'll know, your body isn't celebrating a joke. It's confirming, in the oldest language you have, that you're not alone.